So in a previous video, I went over the Clotting Cascade, and what this really is just the formation of a scab. So when a scab is formed, after you get a cut, so this right here is a cut. Whenever you get a cut, the Clotting Cascade is what makes a scab and helps the healing process. So what I'm going to talk about today is this not functioning right, or working too slow, or being impaired in some way. And that when this Clotting Cascade is impaired or it's not doing its job, it's called coagulopathy. And I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, so I would go ahead and double check myself in that. So it's coagulopathy. There you go. I have to say it slow. So the way this works, and I'm going to go over how it works real quick, and then just go back to the definition of this right here. So the Clotting Cascade, what happens is after you get a cut, I do steps, but really these two steps happen at the same time, so simultaneously that they occur. But I do steps, it makes it easier for me to remember. So after a cut, platelets will kind of stack on top of your cut within the vessel. So these pink circles are platelets, and they're going to bunch up. The arrows are going to the cut. They're going to stack up like a blanket right over the cut. Then right after that, or at the same time, these things called clotting factors will also be triggered internally, so within the tissue where the cut is at, so inside the cut. And they'll start to kind of intertwine and fix and repair the tissue and bring it back together. Well, these clotting factors also activate the formation of this thing called fibrin. And what fibrin does, it's like thread, and it sews all these platelets together along with red blood cells, and that's what creates the scab. It's going to sew it all up and make sure that the platelets kind of stick onto that cut and don't go anywhere. All right, so that's the simple 3-step process. It's really, there are other little steps in between these categories, but this is the simplest way that I could put it. Platelets stack on top. Clotting factors are activated within, I just make it a step, within the cut, doing the same job, kind of sewing it all back together, tying it up together. Clotting factors activate the fibrin, and fibrin is like a string or yarn that sews up the platelets and kind of bunch it all together and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Well, and with coagulopathy, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, what happens is that somewhere along this process, and usually it would be in the clotting process or in the clotting factors, it's slowed down. So it's not able to clot and bring it all in together fast enough or at all, because something's going on. Now, many things can make this happen. One could be blood thinners. It prevents this from occurring. Another one, believe it or not, is hypothermia. And this is really where I want to get into for EMTs, because all you really can do out in the field as an EMT is prevent heat loss. So if your patient was in a trauma situation out in the cold in Nebraska, Alaska, or the Sequoias, and it's really cold out there, that's why it's really important to make sure you cover up your patient. So you want to put a blanket on your patient. Okay, so you want to cover up your patient, put a blanket on your patient, because if they're cold, they're going to bleed out faster because the Clotting Cascade is being impaired. And coagulopathy is just a fancy word for saying that you're not scabbing fast enough. That's really what that means. You're not scabbing fast enough. The Clotting Cascade makes you clot, makes the scabs. And that's really what's up. I mean, that's all I have to say in this video. I really want to get what the definition of this is, but I think it was better said through an example of what's going on. And what really you can do is just keep your patient warm. That's all you can do as an EMT. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below.